So thank you very much. We have this set. We're going to do more on uh, submitting the application. And as we discussed, we're not using a normal submit. We're using Ajax to submit down into the database. So our form is going to be submitting with Ajax, and also we'll be using um, a nice alert, which is sweet alert, to present the form response. So if there's a mistake, if there's an error or whatever, it's going to come via that form sweet alert. So that it's quite easy for the user. The user experience is snappy. Just click it and then you have what you need. So we'll go straight also back to it. We're going to here, we're just going to, there's the beginning of the echo. We're just going to call uh, uh this is our sweet alerts. And so you can go over to Google, just say sweet alert, sweet alert 2 CD. You can always say sweet alert, and then at this point, let's do a integration. So you can see where you do this, you can see this is what we're trying to get. Just give you success. That's it. So depending on where you're integrating it to, you can always have your callback. Yeah, this is it. So you have this and this. So you can pick it for the style and also for the depending on where you're using it on. Where we're using for this, so the CSS, the jQuery, and the likes. So if you're doing SACs, you can just import it directly. Yeah. So this. So that's all. That's all. So I just copy and I'll paste it here so that we have it set. We have it set. You can see this is just calling the CSS and this is calling the JavaScript or sweet alerts. Aside that, let's go straight to our JavaScript. Here we're going to call the Ajax function. We just put it in. We've not created the backend to accept it. So what we'll do here, we'll start with the script. No more, if you're doing JavaScript, you know that it's script. The type is equal to text slash JavaScript. Maybe I will do this outside this PHP tag that gets good display on it. Yeah. Then we'll copy it back to this. I just want the ID to be giving me a closing. Yeah. So we'll say here we'll say jQuery. And this is what I need. So we'll call the function whatever ID is here. I want to change it to event ID, event form. I want to change this to event form. So from instead of church ID form, I want to change it to event form. So we'll go back to this. Then we'll declare the form. I'll say the ID is event form. Right. ID is what event form. Next is event form. So once we have that, we just dot submit. Yeah, this is why I just want the function to be coming up properly. So to do a function of events. So we just call events so that we can get that. And once we have that function set, we can at this point say alert. Let's just do alert and see if it is working. Yes, yes, it is working. So I think that's it. Let's refresh and let's see from our end. Close it. So if we do this and once we click submit, let's fill in all the names. Submit. So you can see submit is refreshing the page because we haven't added the events. What should happen? So here we just come in here and say events, which is the event to declare there dot prevent default. So prevent default will make it not to load. So what it will do is to what prevent default load action. So once we do that, let's try again. Yeah, let's try again. Let's add this and let's keep calling it. Do we have? Okay. So I think we made a mistake here. We didn't put this in a quote, and it ought to be in a quote. Only that was just a typo error. So refresh here and then let's do this. Yeah. So yeah. Let's have called it in. So this is it. We're doing it outside of our function. It's just to test that it's working before we continue other parts of the function. You can see it's alert. Yes, it is working. So that shows you that the form is being prevented and we cannot do whatever we want to do in it. Yeah, so let's go back. So we're good to go. So after doing this, after preventing it, what we'll do, let's just call all our available. We'll call posts URL. What's the URL is going to use? We're using jQuery. jQuery this, so it's taking the state dot attributes and we'll take action. What attribute are we taking? We're taking action. The action is saying that nothing, so it's going to same page. So create another variable request method. So jQuery dot this. So let's just copy this. Don't waste much time. What's the attribute you're looking at? Method. So method, and since it is method, we will not get the form data. Let's get the form data. So everything that comes into the form will come into this form data, which is going to be jQuery this. Let's do this. Then we just try to serialize it, so it will pick everything and in that form to pick everything in the form. So if you check this, it generates a what storable representative of the value. So it will just pick and then majorly save whatever record in case of injections or the likes. It will pick this and then serialize everything in it, echo it, and then let's console console log. Let's console log those variables and see what comes up. Console log form data and see what we're going to get. Always remember that we are outside the function, so put it in. Now with this, we'll go back to let's take it to console, so you can see nothing is happening here. Let's reload. These are the console. So when we do this, we enter the number, enter this. As we click event after event, you can see classification is equal to 1, form ID 5, the date, time, the comment, everything is inside our form record. Now the post URL is same page, so it's not echoing anything. That's why you're having that. So since it's echoing it, it's just giving you the normal record. And yeah, with that we know, okay, this is what we are getting. Let's continue. We're making progress, good progress. Yes, so we've consoled them. So let's just do our form input. So we'll do jQuery dot Ajax. This is where we're using the Ajax function. So from the Ajax function, we want to get some records. One will get the URL. We're getting the URL. What would the URL be? The URL will be the post URL that we've already defined here. We're getting the type. What would the type be? We've already requested request method. We've done that already. Do we need it to be catch? First, we don't need it to catch. So every record comes in as fresh. Data type. What data type do you want? We need JSON. So we need JSON for the data type. Do we need to be asynchronous? So when you use async, you have async and then sync. So should it stop before? Should it process the data first before getting feedback before proceeding, or it can just do everything behind the scene? We want it to do everything behind the scene. So we'll go first. We don't need it to be async. And say data. What's the data we need? Data we need here is what the form data. We already defined it. And so complete. So we're saying when it is complete, what will happen? Let it give us this callback function with a response. The response of so what will be the response if that happens? If it is successful, we'll just alert. We'll check that. Let's just have it in. Yes, successful. So yeah, successful. So yeah, successful. That's when it is successful. If it's not successful, we also get response too. Also, these are error messages. We can just want to get it before pushing it up. Response can be, let's say, jQuery dot pass JSON. So we want to get what the JSON response from it. That would be response. So response. This is just to have us. So you can here console.log. We can console.log response JSON response. So we'll say response dot we're trying to get the response JSON dot message. So message is going to be one of the parameters we'll be sending to this, and also console log success. Yeah, so just go with the flow. You get to understand later on what we're doing. So we'll do if statement here to see what happens if it is success, if it is not success, what happens. So checking if it is successful or not. So say if one, or we cannot do it the other way, if response is equal to 1 or is 1. So if we say if response dot you say response JSON dot message is equal to 1, then let's call our sweet alert. Let's call our sweet alert s s s. Let's call our message saying, oh, I had an issue, blah blah blah, and that is it. So let's close this and then get our messages set. For the sweet alerts, we just get sweet alerts, which is this. That's a message needs, so it will tell you which one are you trying to get. So we'll say successful registration. Successful registration or response JSON dot message. So that's the message that we're going to get. Then it's going to be success. So what type are we giving? So we're giving success. If it is fail, we'll give failure on 2. Then we'll do document dot. What we're trying to do is I want to try to reset the form that gets element by ID. So what element are we getting by ID? We're getting the events form, right? Let's see if it is event form. Then we just do dot reset. So what this will do to just reset our form first. And if that happens, we also do, let's just copy this into the error message. If this is, we'll say error in registration. We also get the message. If we want the message, what the message will be, but here is going to be error. And then we'll reset our form, and we're good. So that's all about this. If just a recap, we did a prevent it, and also we got available. After getting available, we send it via Ajax down to this. Then once this form data has gone, it comes back. There's a response when it's complete. We do this, and we can now we get a function of response, and then we check the message. If it is successful, it's equal to 1. Then successful, yes, it is failed. So because get message, you get this failed. So let's test and see. Let's take this up. And let's remember that this outside your page. Let's take it, let's add it to it. Let's refresh and then try this and see what comes up. Document type cannot read property message. Okay, so it's actually going, but we're not getting, it's not getting message. It's not getting a message, which is the response from it. So that's for the form. Let's just change it to, we know it's going to fail, so let us just come here and say, let's just come here and say this and say fail. So it's not the message, it's a successful ones here. So if this is what it is, let's just say if 2 is equal to, which we know it's not possible. So we'll come back and we'll take it back just to test what we've done. There's going to be any sweet alerts. Okay, put your message. Okay. Okay, so let's just leave it, and when we're done with the form, we'll come back and test it properly. Okay, because this property they all going to get it from the form, so I think that is fine. That's good to go. Thank you very much for your time.